Welcome to the television edition of Radio Friends, where we feature guests from all over central Missouri. This week, we'll find out more about Love Columbia and native plants in central Missouri. All that and a lot more. So let's get started right now. Good to have you here again, Nadia.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you too.
And you brought in a bouquet of beautiful native plants from Missouri.
Yes.
We'll get to these in a minute, but there's going to be a special event at Lincoln University, right?
Yes. Yeah, we have this native plant outdoor laboratory. That is a series of gardens that we have established since 2012 at Lincoln. It is actually in front of on the offices of Cooperative Extension and Cooperative Research. And we're having tours of these gardens on August 12th at 6 p.m. and August 13th in the morning at 10.
Okay, so August 12th, is that a Friday?
It's a Thursday.
A Thursday.
Yes.
And then the next day, August 13th, a Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Now, what do people need to sign up ahead of time, or can they just come?
Yes, we're doing this in collaboration with Grow Native, an organization that many in the audience probably know, but if you check the website, grownative.org, you can look for events, and then people can register.
Okay.
In that website. And we have a limitation of maybe 20 people to 25 because we don't want a big crowd. And we want to talk to everyone. So I would suggest to register as soon as possible.
Okay. Now, what will they see when they come? They're all native plants, pretty much like what we've got here on the table.
Yeah.
And you brought along what I call these black-eyed Susans.
Yeah, it is a kind of black-eyed Susan. It's actually called either sweet coneflower or sweet black-eyed Susan.
But it is a member of the coneflower family.
It's a member of the sunflower. All these plants that look like sunflowers, they are all related
To the sunflower. So this one, what you have, it's got the beautiful yellow petals, and then the dark brown or black button in the middle.
Yes.
And this is part of the sunflower family.
Yeah, and you can see we have a common purple coneflower that many people have in their yards that is so good for pollinators. All of these plants are good for any pollinator. So we have purple coneflower with the pink petals, and then we have liatris or prairie blazing star. Believe it or not, they are all in the same family of the sunflower. The sunflower family is so diverse.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we have another member here of the family, of the sunflower family, that we call prairie dock. And as the name suggests, it's a plant that does really well in prairies. It's naturally growing in prairies. And actually, Paul, you should add it to your prairie because this will be very pretty. And we have another member that is hard to see in the middle, but we have some bergamot and even grasses. So in this laboratory, we don't only have flowers. We have grasses, we have trees, we have shrubs.
And they're all important. They're all important for the
Yes.
environment. They all grow together and they work with each other, correct?
Yes, and the one thing is that they're really important. Every single plant has a purpose. Like, for example, we have two nice persimmon trees in the front of our office. They're gorgeous, and they also produce the fruits in the fall. They're good for people and for animals. And we have some raccoons that come to eat some of those persimmons, juicy persimmons. So people can come in August. They won't be ripened yet, but they will see how the trees look like. And then we have others like
They're beautiful
the spice
trees.
bush.
To me, the persimmon tree looks somewhat delicate. It's not a hardy looking tree. It's a delicate looking tree.
Yeah, and there are some that they can grow really tall. There are some at the University of Missouri that you wouldn't believe it how tall they are, but they are slow growers.
And you say the raccoons like the persimmons?
The raccoons, the possums, maybe some skunk that stop by.
So the raccoons are climbing the persimmon trees and picking the...
No, what happens is that the fruits usually fall when they're ripen.
Yeah.
And so even you actually have to wait to collect the persimmons when they are falling from the tree. But I just want to go back to the field day, the tour that we have. On August 12th, people could see all these plants. We'll show all these trees. And what we are doing is we have different stops so people can see how things have changed since we established this garden in 2012.
Okay.
We originally had a brochure with the information like in 2012, 2015, and then you see how much it has changed. So it's like, this is like a changing environment.
Right.
And it's just beautiful, and we'll see some.
And it's free of charge.
It is free of charge, but we're doing it with Grow Native and in collaboration with Lincoln.
Now, are all of these plants that you brought here today and that are native plants, they're pretty drought resistant, aren't they?
Yeah, all these plants that you're seeing, they are, especially this prairie dock that I just mentioned, this one with the tall stems. It has
Their roots go down deep.
They're very deep, so they don't suffer during these terrible hot temperatures.
Okay.
So that's what we want to show people, that they can learn what they can adopt depending on their site type. We do have plants in the shade. We have an area with woodland, wildflowers, and trees. So people can learn how they're going to look like in 10 years after planting.
I think it's fascinating, Nadia, and I just love plants. I love having you here to talk about them. So what's going on with the Como Bicentennial?
Well, this is the bicentennial year, and we've been having all kinds of great events and observances all year long to date, and we have a lot more for the rest of the year. And there were really 2 or 3 things we wanted to touch on today, if you'd let us. And
sure.
I want to hear Megan talk to us all about what is coming up next on our fall events.
Okay.
Sure. So we've had a number of events already this year, but we're going to head into fall and keep on rolling. So the beginning of September, on September 2nd, we're going to have an extension of the You Don't Say series, which is our fantastic partnership with KBIA that really looks at the oral history of some of the African-American members of our community. And so that's been an exceptional project. That'll be over at the State Historical Society. And then we'll also be present at a number of other events. So Center for Urban Agriculture's Harvest Hootenanny, the Heritage Festival, what better place to celebrate Columbia's history,
Really?
And then also a number of pop-up parks and other events that's going to let us really send out the bicentennial year properly.
Now, with You Don't Say, will this be done with an audience?
Yes, we will have an audience, and so you'll be able to we're kind of continuing the conversation, and all of those conversations were so powerful and really important, and so we wanted to be able to extend that in some way for our community.
Very good.
We're going to have a public event, so the people who, not just people who were listening to the radio, but others in the community will be able to come and hear these people in a panel and all those stories. It's
Oh,
gonna be
that's
great.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Heritage Fest.
Yes.
That will be where?
So the Heritage Festival is September 18th and 19th. That's out at Nifong Park. And so we've partnered with Parks and Recreation on a number of these events. And so we think that that's just the right place for the bicentennial folks to be.
That Heritage Festival has been around for a long
Oh, yes.
time. A long time. I remember Cookie Hagen. Do you remember Cookie Hagen?
That name sounds really familiar.
Oh, she was so into the Heritage Festival. And then there was one other thing you mentioned?
So we'll also be out at Harvest Hootenanny, which Center for Urban Agriculture does. And so we're just going to have a presence there. We think it's a really fantastic celebration that they do every year out at the Farmers Market Pavilion. And so we wanted to be a part of that. So anywhere that we can really be involved and help people know that it's our bicentennial and that it's a great time to celebrate and remember and think about our past and our present and our future, we want to be there.
I find it hard to believe that Columbia has been around for 200 years.
200 years. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah. It's an amazing thing, and of course, so we were challenged to plan for the bicentennial when, in the 199th year, everything got kind of suspended.
The 199th year was a year that we hope we don't have to relive again.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. You know, there are a couple of opportunities, though, that I wanted to share with everybody in town. One is when, as historians, we began to look backward at the 200 years and find out what life was like in Columbia at various points in time. The historical narrative, who has been able to tell their story in history, has been pretty limited. Mm-hmm. You know, there are whole sections of our community who historically weren't able to have access to the newspapers, weren't the subject of newspaper stories.
Right.
And so here in 2021, we're not bound by that. New technology allows us to move beyond that. And so on our website, which is como200.com, or you can just type Como200 into your search engine, on our website we have a portal called Share Your Story. Mm-hmm. And we are encouraging everybody in town to get on there and just type in, share. How did Columbia affect you? How did you affect Columbia? What were challenges? What were successes? Schools, churches, organizations can also share their history.
Okay.
And so that's a really big important thing for us to promote.
We're out of time, but you can find it online for more information. I thank you, Dave and Megan, for coming by.
Thank you so much.
And sharing information about the Como Bicentennial.
Great. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. Okay, now I want to introduce you to Elizabeth Coran, who is from Stage Right Production. Good to have you back here again.
Thank you.
Took a little hiatus there. You weren't doing productions during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Now, I hope that you will be able to continue now that you're up and rolling again. So what show do you have coming up?
Yeah, so we have a Western comedy that's called The Saga of the Golden Horseshoe.
Okay.
And basically it's about this cowboy named Clementine Chowder, and he is framed for being a horse thief. And so his friends and family have to go on these little adventures to go and to prove that he's innocent. So
tell us about Stage Right Production, because you're kind of a unique theater company, aren't you?
Yeah, so Stage Right started with me and a young man named John Staples. We outgrew our previous theater. We were just too old to act anymore. And so then we decided we wanted to direct. And so we started our own theater company, and we had our first show, and it was very successful. And so it's just kind of gone on from there. And we call ourselves unique because, you know, not only are we college students running our own theater company, but we also like to pay our actors. And so whatever we make from sales, we give to our actors.
So do you have a specific location that you do your productions in, or do you move around?
No, we have a specific location. It's at Higher Ground Church. Adam Snell, he lets us use his building, and we're very grateful for that. And so it's a great use. I mean, honestly, like the facility is great. So.
Okay, so if people want to come and see this current production, when is it?
It is September 10th and 11th. On the 10th, we have one show at 7 p.m. And then on the 11th, it's going to be at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. So
how
we'll have 2 shows.
How many actors do you have in here?
I think we have about 25, 26.
So it's a big production.
Yeah, I mean, most of that is ensemble, and obviously we're very careful when it comes to rehearsals and stuff right now, especially because of the pandemic. But they're all doing a great job, and it's honestly a really fun show, and I know our actors are very grateful to be back.
Now, I've not heard of this particular show before.
Yeah, I really wanted to do a Western, and so I did my research, and our first show, which was Madam's Been Murdered, I found out that the same writer, Pat Cook, also wrote this Western comedy, and so that's kind of how I found that through our first show, and so it's really good. It's really fun.
Okay, so there's about 20-some-odd actors in there. It's a Western comedy, and everybody is invited to attend to support this college student-operated theater production. It's called Stage Right Theater.
Yep.
Correct? How do they get tickets?
So you can either purchase a streaming ticket through our Facebook page, and if you also want to see a live person show, it's going to be $7 a ticket, and you can just pay at the door.
Explain, first of all, what this is and what you were hoping to accomplish.
Well, the Climate and Environment Commission is an advisory commission for the City Council of Columbia, and then we also have some support capacity for the Boone County Commission. And our primary role these days is to really help the city implement the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan.
So, when you look back over the past couple of years, first of all, how long has this commission been operating?
They reformed the commission from the Energy and Environment Commission in December of 2019.
Okay.
So about a year and a half now.
So, what advances have been made, and do you feel that you really are serving a worthwhile purpose?
Yes, I do feel that the City Council takes our recommendations seriously and considers them, as does the city staff. And so we do feel like we're contributing. Some of the things that we've done since our inception was, well, each year we give feedback on the renewable energy report that the city utility puts in place. We give input on the greenhouse gas emissions inventory. And then we also are making some priorities in terms of that we share with the City Council in terms of which there's 160 actions in the Climate and Action Plan. So we recommend which ones are priorities to do first and what should be considered in the budget, for example. And so some of the things that we've put forward are a new way to look at the budget, and it's right now being piloted. It's called the triple bottom line, where the city is, instead of just like mostly considering, cost plus savings or benefits, financial benefits from a project, they would look at also the environmental cost or benefits as well as the social people-oriented cost or benefits. And so that's why it's called the triple bottom line, because you look at the profit, the people, and the planet.
Okay.
So
for this to work, I think we all agree that people have to come on board and really want to save energy. In saving energy, you're helping the planet and you're helping your pocketbook too.
absolutely.
And there are many ways that this can be done without a big sacrifice.
Right. Yes, you really don't have to change your lifestyle in order to get on board and help us achieve our goals to reduce emissions. The City of Columbia, through their water and light utility, as well as Boone Electric and Ameren, all have really good programs to support people moving to more energy efficiency in their homes or businesses. Columbia Water and Light has some of the most outstanding programs in the Midwest.
Give us an example.
Well, for example, the programs not only are good for homeowners, but they're also good for landlords and tenants. So even if you live in a duplex or something like that, you could participate in these. You can get a free energy audit where they will come out and look at your home and make recommendations for both how to conserve energy and how to conserve water. There's also a more elaborate program called Home Performance with Energy Star, where a contractor actually comes out to your home, looks at all the different factors, performs a blower door test.
Right. Boone Electric does that also.
So you can see where your home has air leaks.
And then you repair them.
And then they'll give you a list of things that you can change to make your home not only more energy efficient, but more comfortable. So like in my home, I know I have certain rooms that are cold and certain rooms that are hot, and they can help make recommendations to, improve your energy efficiency and improve your comfort and ultimately save money in the long term.
You know what I did a couple of years ago? I added more insulation to my attic. So I went up to 50... What is it called? 50, the highest rating you get with insulation.
I can't think of what it's called right now.
I forget. The number was 50. It was real high. They put like about 12 inches of...
The insulation rating.
Yeah, they increased the insulation. It was about $745.
Oh, R factor.
50 R factor. Thank you very much. It only cost about $700 or so. But you know what? I can really tell the difference in the energy consumption, because every month when I get my electric bill, Boone Electric will put on there, you used 15% less energy this month than you did last year.
Right.
And I can attribute that directly to the insulation.
Right. And there's a specific program that Water and Light has that's called Just Attic Plus. And so it's, easier to get into than some of the other programs.
Yeah. The other thing And I'm talking about Boone Electric because that's what I'm on. They have the load management feature where you can sign up and they will, during peak alerts, they will cycle your air conditioning off for about 7.5 minutes every half hour. Now you say, oh, wait, I don't want anybody touching my air conditioning. You can't tell it. And you get a discount on your electricity, and you really can't tell the difference in the house. It goes off for 7.5 minutes of each half hour. You're saving money. You're reducing that peak load. And all around, you benefit. Now, you said the City of Columbia will be going back to that?
Right. Columbia Water and Light doesn't have it right now, but it is something that they're hoping to re-implement. They used to have it, and they're going to re-implement it when they move to more sophisticated meters for the homes.
Right.
That have more of a demand load sensing capability.
Okay.
So, and we don't have a date on that yet.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we've talked about so many times on here, just switch your lighting to the LED. They're brighter, and they use a
Right.
fraction.
Right,
fraction
and commercial businesses can get a rebate for moving to LED lighting. So that's a really important program that Columbia Water and Light offers as well.
I'm glad we're talking about this because of that heat that we went through earlier in July. It makes you appreciate saving, but staying cool at the same time.
Absolutely.
If people want more information, what can they do? How can they find out more?
There's an excellent website for the city called ColumbiaPowerPartners.com.
Okay.
And then Boone Electric has one on their website. It's under the Energy Solutions section. And then, of course, we're not so worried about heating right now, but Ameren also offers rebates for people who use gas heating if they would move to a more efficient system on their furnace. So.
You're here today with Krista to not only talk about Love Columbia, but a very important fundraiser that you have coming up in October, correct?
Yes, we have Over the Edge coming back after taking a year off for the pandemic on October 30th.
Okay, if you're not familiar with Over the Edge, it is a big and important fundraiser for Love Columbia. And what you do is you sign up and you volunteer to go over the edge of the Tiger Hotel. Now you're tied to, you're not jumping.
Should we preempt this with it as a professional company that
Right,
does this?
but you're harnessed into ropes and you rappel down. Now James and Travis and myself did that 2 years ago. In fact, if you're watching video, that's us coming down the side of the Tiger. And I got to tell you, we got up there and I looked over the edge and they said, hold on to that Tiger sign and lean back. I said, lean back? Hold on and lean back and then let go. And you let go. Letting go, you know, that's like, I felt like I was jumping out of an airplane. But it was fun when you get right down to it. How much money did you raise with that?
We've raised in the past, the first year we raised about $70,000. The second year we raised close to that amount. So we're hoping to do more this year because honestly, we have a lot of people in Columbia who live on the edge. And that's really why we gravitated toward this event. We felt like it really did represent neighbors, helping neighbors in Columbia to steady their lives and honestly keep them from going over the edge. And this year I'm excited to be here. Not that it's an exciting time, but the timing is the eviction moratorium ends next week. And we have many people in Columbia really struggling with housing stability. So that's one of the things that we do at Love Columbia is help people find a way to stay housed or find better housing. So that's very pertinent for right now, what's going on. And we really got into helping more homeless people last year because of the pandemic and ended up working with over 260 homeless families, provided furniture for 78, housing for found housing for 101, and this year I'm sorry to report it has not improved in terms of numbers of people struggling to get stable housing. So we want to give all of our neighbors an opportunity to do something daring and exciting, just to overcome their own fears, maybe of heights or being a part of a fundraiser, so that they can really show their support for all the neighbors in Columbia who are living on the edge every day.
You know, Jane, you just put that so beautifully. You narrowed it down in 2 or 3 minutes, and summed it up perfectly. So many people are living on the edge. So over the edge, this fundraiser really does mean a lot. Krista, what do folks need to do if they want to partake in this?
Your registration's directly from our website. So as soon as you visit the Love Columbia site, which is just lovecolumbiamo.org, the registration is going to pop up right on the screen. And it's about a 5-minute process at the most. And they are going to have their own campaign that gets launched directly from there. They'll be able to pull that into their social media or through email. And be able to send it out to people via email to support them in their efforts of raising $1,000.
Okay, so everybody that goes over the edge does need to raise a minimum of $1,000.
That's the golden ticket, $1,000.
Okay. So you sign up for it. You can either pay the $1,000 yourself, or donate that yourself. You go over the edge, or you go around to people and you say, hey, I'm going to go over the edge. I'm raising money for Love Columbia. How about handing over some cash to me? And if you get 10 people to give you $100, you got your $1,000 right there.
People are having so much fun with this. All the people that have registered are doing it as part of like a workplace fundraiser almost, so where people can come together in their workplace for a good cause. And they kind of elect somebody within their own little workplace community that's going to go over and publicize that to the people in the offices, and they are having so much fun.
Is there a limit
that.
to the number of people that you can have signed up to go over the edge?
Well, if you're talking about total, we can have up to 96.
You can have up to 96
on
people.
2 ropes, and then if needed, we could add an additional rope and have 3 ropes across the Tiger Hotel.
Oh.
So we have room. We are really excited. We have a goal to meet for sure on number of edgers this year. And if in some of these places they feel like it would be more fun to have a team environment and they want to have 2, 3, or 4 edgers go over, that's $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 that comes into Love Columbia, and they can have fun doing that as a team.
Yeah. It is a very unusual experience. It's something that you won't forget. So if you want to have some fun, you want to be call yourself just a little bit of a daredevil, but it really is safe. I say, yeah, I was frightened looking down, but it's safe. You're not going to fall. You just have to tell yourself, I'm going to be fine.
The team from Over the Edge that flies here from Canada that does this, they do about 80 of these per year for nonprofits all over the United States.
And they rehearse you up on the roof. They put you in the harness, they show you how to go over, and they kind of rehearse you.
Yes.
Until it's really time, and then you just let go of that tiger sign and start going down. All right? If people want more information, again, the best place to go, Jane?
lovecolumbiamo.org.
Okay.
And we guarantee you'll have a view of Columbia you've never had before.
That's right. That's right. Is there anything, we've got less than a minute, is there anything in particular that you need right now?
We just need more people to sign up as edgers. So tell your friends and family. And Paul's got some special cards we just gave him with his picture on it. We were pretty excited. He pioneered this with us the first year. So we just love to have you come join us. Let's partner together, neighbors helping neighbors.
Okay. And your website again is?
lovecolumbiamo.org.
Okay. Ladies, thank you so much for coming by. Jane, it's always a pleasure to have you here. And Krista, I'm glad I got to mention you. Are you going over the edge, Krista?
I'm not sure, since I'm in charge of not in charge of the event, but definitely going to be manning a lot of things that day.
Here, Krista. I got some cards you can sign up.
Does this sound like an excuse to you, Paul?
I may be, I may not be.
Come on, Krista.
I'm trying to recruit my husband to go for me in place of me. So yeah.
We're out of time.
Okay, all right.
I understand.
Okay.
Drop me an email, pepperpmissouri.edu. Bye-bye.